Hey, this is Callan from Authentic Lifestyle Design, and today I want to talk to you about how things are always changing. Because the world around us, we have this thing called time, and over time things change, and that includes you and me. Because this is probably one of the hardest challenges for me, is that I want to do everything, always. I want to experience every single dimension of life. So I want to experience the life of a musician. I want to experience the life of a teacher. I want to experience the life of a coach. I want to experience the life of a drifter and so many other things. But we only have so much time here, and practically we cannot experience all of those things in this life. So we have to make choices. And you've got to decide what path it is you actually want to actualize here. And that can change throughout your life. At least that's what I've realized. I mean, initially, I wanted to become a composer. And then after wanting to become a composer, I wanted to become a high school music teacher. And then I wanted to become like an internet marketing entrepreneur. And then I wanted to become a life coach. And then I decided to become a teacher. And now I want to be a teacher and a life coach. So things change all the time. And I think your purpose in life can change throughout your life. Like maybe you're really into art and you're 16 and then you get to 30 and all of a sudden you're not into art. Maybe now you're into dancing. I think it's really rare for someone to be into something and for that to be their main thing through their whole lives. I think more people change, or as they go through life, they change their things. The average person now has, 5, 6, 7 careers in their lives. So we're always changing and we're always moving. And that's in every area of our life. That includes our belief systems. What you believe at the moment and what you're firm about might be completely different in 10 years due to the experiences and the ideas you develop and all the rest of it. So it's really important to understand that. And the lesson here is not to lock yourself into a box, right? Say you were doing something like maybe you were painting or maybe you were learning a language or whatever. And now you just feel that that thing no longer serves you. It's no longer really helping you in your life. You can easily put that down and move on to something else, but sometimes that's difficult because you've put so much effort into whatever that is. And change is this inevitable thing. Especially if you look at spirodynamics, which I've made some videos about, as your consciousness grows and expands, you change, your ideas change, and your values change, and your beliefs change, Say you're an orange or the materialist paradigm, and you value things and money and all this stuff, and then you get up to green, and this stuff doesn't matter as much, then material things really don't have very much weight. And you don't need as much money, and you don't need other people to tell you you're successful in order to feel good. So your paradigms change all the time, and what you have to do is you have to keep an open mind, an open, flexible mind, in order that you can roll with these changes. And you don't have to think super long term. This is what gets me all the time. I think really long term, like say children, for example. It's like, do you want me to have kids? Yes or no, or maybe, I'm not sure. When at the moment, at 24, it's like, no, there's no way I'd want to have kids right now. Someone's, do you want to have kids? No, absolutely not. Not even close. Do I think I'll have kids later? I don't know. I really don't know. If you asked me at the moment, probably not. But if you ask me in 10 years, and I've had 10 years of life experience on top of what I have now, I might change my mind. At 34, I might be like, yeah, I really want to have some little kids. That sounds so cool. That sounds like such an awesome addition to my life. And I can nurture and care for these human beings and turn them into extraordinary people. So I might have a completely different paradigm there. Or maybe money. It's like, okay, I want heaps of money because I want to travel and live this high lifestyle and do all this stuff. Then I get to 40 and I'm like, don't need it. Don't need that anymore. Or maybe I do. Maybe I don't care about money in my 20s. And then I get to 30 and all of a sudden I want to make a lot more because I want a different lifestyle. Or maybe at the moment I'm interested in teaching and coaching but I also have a strong background in music and martial arts. So maybe in 5 years I go, nope, stuff this, throw this away. I'm just going to do the bare minimum of teaching and I'm going to build myself up as an artist or as a musician. Or I go, nope, change. I'm going to go over to Okinawa and train full time and do that for however long I feel like doing it. That's why it's important. Being flexible and keeping your mind flexible and doing what is authentic and real to you now. Not what you think you should be doing or not what society tells you should be doing, but what you actually want to do. Because it's your life, it's your experience, and the general rule is you should be able to do whatever you want as long as that's not hurting other people. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine and he put it really well. He's like, what we're doing here is you want to be able to do whatever you want, but you want to give that right to every other human being. So that means you should be able to chase the life you want, do the things you want, but you shouldn't be interfering with or harming other people in that process. And I think that's a good way of putting it. So look at change as a thing. Everything's changing. Nature changes, people changes, technology changes. It's a constant evolution. And when you look at it like this, you're going to change. Your values are going to change. Your beliefs are going to change. And if they don't, and you get locked into one way of thinking, well, do you want to be there or do you want to be more flexible? Because change is inevitable. And it's going to happen forever. Everything's just going to keep changing. So that's the one thing that gets me, though, is that I want to do everything. When I can't, I have to focus on some things. But those things can change. And if you aren't cool with going through those different changes, then all of a sudden you're in like your perfect life now. I mean, I know exactly what my ideal lifestyle would look like right now. And I know what that would involve, and I'm building towards that. But maybe one day when I have that, say 5 years, 10 years, when I actually have that thing, then maybe my idea of what's a good life completely changes. And that's the thing too, there's no right or wrong way to live. There's no right or wrong thing for you, and what's right for you now might not be what's right for you now in the future. You have to figure that out. You have to be flexible about that. And it's so important to realize that there's no perfect way to live. There's no path you have to follow. You forge your own path. You're writing your own story. And you have to remember that as you go through this journey. And your values and your beliefs and your ambitions and your life purpose is probably going to change between now and when you're old. So, keep focusing on it. Authentic lifestyle design, the name of this channel, lifestyle design never ends. You design what life you want, right? But then probably when you have that life, you want to design something else. And you want to keep tailoring and refining it, making it as awesome as possible. And then maybe all of a sudden you have all the money and all the romantic partners and all the success and all the travel and all the rest of it. And then maybe you get to a point where none of that matters and now you want to go and work in an office or be an entrepreneur and build some company and throw all that away to focus fully on that. You don't know. It's what keeps life interesting. And you're not locked into anything. You can pretty well do what you want with your life. It's your experience. You have a body here and you perceive reality through your senses. And you can do what you want with that. You've got a rough time limit. Probably you'll be here a bit longer if you look after yourself. But you're born, you live a life and you die. But how you live that life, especially if you're free, which I hope you are, you can control how you live that and what you do. And embrace the change. Embrace the development of your character. So I hope you enjoyed this video and a little bit of a deeper understanding about change, because I know it can get a bit crazy. And I know it does get me wanting to go, I want to do everything and I want to be everywhere all at once and doing all these things. But having to settle, that's not hard for me to find a purpose. It's hard for me to stick to a purpose. It's hard for me to find something that I'm actually going to stick to. Because there's so many things I want to go learn. Like, I want to go learn rock climbing, I want to go and learn salsa dancing, I want to go and travel, I want to learn a bunch of different languages. There's like 4 or 5 different languages I'd be keen to learn. I want to learn a heap of instruments and different ways to produce music and all these things. But reality is, I can't learn all those things. There isn't enough hours in the day. So I have to pick stuff. I got to pick stuff to work on while I forge myself. And embrace the change and embrace that my opinions and beliefs now are probably not going to be the same in 5-10 years. And if you're developing and you're continuously growing yourself, that's pretty normal. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment of what you thought. I always enjoy reading the few I get. And besides from that, I will talk to you soon.